I could talk a little bit about this presentation here. I'm planning on doing. It's currently 5:19 a.m. So I gotta be going for 40 more minutes. I can honk out and stuff. What I can do. Here, let's see here. Do I have a separate thingamabob open here? Yeah, I do. Over here for some reason. The case. Let's see here. Let's just see here. So this is just untitled document over here. I don't really have anything in here right now. I can just do a display capture thing. Let's switch to just chatting. This is what we'll do. So it'll just be a Google slide thingamabob. But essentially how this came about was here. Let me move the thingamabob over so you can see the time down there. You know, so you know when we're done and stuff. How this came about was I took one of my little cousins to my university one day because of like a class gathering field trip thingamabob. It wasn't really a field trip because there was only like a handful of students from each school that got to go, and you know, she got selected by her teacher to go on that. And I got to chatting with her teacher through that because she was struggling to pay for parking. And, you know, I was a little bit more familiar with it. That specific one I hadn't used before, but I was a bit more familiar with it. And helped her out. And before the event thingamabob had started, we were chatting a little bit and, you know, talking about backgrounds and stuff. And I mentioned, you know, I was studying at that university and studying game design and stuff. And, you know, she had asked me if I would be interested in giving a presentation to the 6th grade class at this elementary school on the gaming industry. And I was like, oh, that'd be pretty cool. I need to like figure out a lot of stuff with it. And it was kind of in the dark for a little while because, you know, I didn't hear from her. She didn't hear from me. We didn't have one other's contact information. And a couple weeks ago, my little cousin asked me like, oh, is that still going on? Are you still interested in doing it? I was like, yeah, I still am. I didn't hear anything. So I assumed there was no interest in it anymore. But apparently there was, and her teacher had asked about that and stuff she was telling me. So, you know, got contact information properly exchanged. And I have been chatting about it a little bit. And her teacher was telling me that the goal of the presentation should be to emphasize the importance of finishing high school, getting an education, like the various different, like, important aspects of finishing high school and getting a good education and stuff like that. So I need to tie that into the gaming industry. So I was thinking about potentially just like going through like a whole bunch of the different things that you can do as a job in the gaming industry and what kind of skill sets they need and how it really is, you know, people from all sorts of different backgrounds and stuff like that that can go into it. And, you know, it was funny, her teacher was telling me like, oh man, it'd be so cool to have like an industry expert talking on that or someone who works in industry. I'm like, I'm not an industry expert. I don't work in industry either. But, you know, I do know a thing or two about video games and I can do my best. And, you know, one part of me is like, man, this is really cool. It's a cool opportunity to help, you know, inspire a new generation, you know, to have, you know, some passion about this cool industry as well. But on the other hand, part of me is like, shit, how am I gonna have time for this? I already don't have enough time for my current projects. I'm losing my mind. So I might try to base it around this. Apparently I should aim for a roughly half an hour long presentation. There's a Google Slides here. Ignore that, just click to add title. I don't know what kind of title thingamabob I should do here. I've been going through my my old university lectures and notes and compiling a document here about stuff that might be interesting to talk about, and there's like a bunch of notes about like different game design kind of stuff, and I don't have any notes for these things yet. I'm gonna need to do this here, I guess, you know, typically I don't want to share, you know, information like that, but, you know, it's literally on the donation goal anyway, so whatever, who cares? It's kind of the case. But how exactly am I going to do it here is the question. I can ignore the title one for now. First of all, like, I'm probably gonna base it a little bit off of, you know, presentations that I've had in my university classes, and, you know, also kind of draw on, here's the stuff that I've learned in university and the stuff that you can expect if you go into it too. Where's that one stat graphic thingamabob that's, showing the gaming industry is bigger than movie and music combined? Gaming industry bigger than movie and music industries combined, because I know that's the case in terms of like profit generated. There's a no, what the heck is, I remember seeing some cool graphic in one of my professor's presentations one day. Whatever. This can be the one that's like, or if I'm doing this to a 6th grade class, what should the first slide be? Just be like, who likes video games, you know? And then like show of hands, maybe. I don't know. If anyone has any ideas there, and then have a bunch of things of video games. I don't know. Maybe I won't even have that there. Maybe I'll just have like a bunch of images, and then you know, just directly ask the question, who likes video games? Whenever I try to give presentations, I try to have like very minimal text on the actual slides, have it mostly be images, and have, you know, my actual speaking be like most of the content rather than just reading off slides and being boring and stuff, you know. That's kind of what I try to do. I can tinker around with this in whatever order. Let's see here. I guess I'll go through some thingamabobs here. There's a lot of things that I could talk about with like Programmer potentially, in different ways that you can analyze things and stuff. And I do wonder, like, I put analyst / advisor here just as like someone that might be familiar with some of these, you know, more crazy kind of stuff, and get into it there. Consider using programs for this survey at the beginning. Programs? Do you mean like one of those like what are they called? Like the little voting thing where everyone votes on their phones? Because I don't think I'd be doing anything like that if that's the question. Programs for this survey at the beginning. It wouldn't be a survey, I'd just be like, show of hands, who likes video games, who's familiar with them? Stuff like that. You know, most likely there. Man, how exactly am I gonna handle this, I wonder? Yeah, I don't think I'd be doing anything like that. It'd be like a pretty casual thing, Bob. My cousin's kiddo there was telling me that apparently whenever people from industry come in and give presentations, they do kind of quiz the class a little bit and make sure they're paying attention. I don't know if I'd quite be doing that, or handing out QR codes for yes and no, then take a picture which translates to an answer in a survey. It's, who likes video games isn't that important, I don't think, you know. I don't think it is exactly. And man, it's gonna be really hard for me to not get carried away with just like a whole bunch of stuff that I could ramble about when it comes to things. So maybe I won't, you know, make the programmer one yet. I'll think about some other ones there. Hold on, I should probably look up what kind of fields of study you would need for these various different things. Hold on. If I put down like maybe story writer for now, and like a bullet point list of like what kind of things do you need for that and what kind of things are done, you know. Just thought about using some techniques to show what video games are about. Programming choices and stuff would be interesting, but it's your decision, of course. There are some really interesting things that I could get into programming wise. I just worried that like I could spend all day talking about it, you know, because there's a lot of different things. I'm thinking that I'll probably go through like the various different main jobs and things that they do and some general techniques, and then at the end probably have like a slide that's like, hey, here's a whole bunch of other things that I can talk about if anyone wants to learn more about how these are done in the industry and stuff. Let me know and I'll gladly talk about those, you know, because there are things that I can talk about, you know. My stream manager just seems to have crashed. Oh, it seems to be okay now. What's something simple that I can start with here? Because, you know, there's lots of things I can think about for these things. It's just, you know, I've been awake for 24, 25 hours now. However the heck much. And when I have an audience watching me, I get a little bit more nervous. But let's see here. So, you know what, screw it, I am starting with programming. Let's do some techniques and stuff there. If I insert a slide here. Programmers, what do they do? And then I'll have like some more slides about some of the techniques and stuff, which I can do. Let's add some slides. What are things I might like to talk about some more than other things? Game design analysis, prototypes and demos, conflict, progress, rules, probabilities, feedback loops. There's all sorts of things to talk about. So many thingamabobs. The class I took this last semester was on a game AI. I could talk a little bit about that. Of course, you know, simplifying things down and stuff. I might still have some of my some of my old assignments and stuff. I wonder if it'd be fun to put up like GIFs or something like that, or some of my old assignment thingamabobs. It's like, yeah, this is the kind of thing that we do there. Can I, let's see here. If I go to my university folder, and then I find this, I would need to open Unity. I would need to do. Because, you know, the things that I did in this game AI class for assignments were little Pac-Man thingamabobs. It might be fun to show like, yeah, this is the kind of thing that we do as programmers and stuff, you know? It's kind of fun stuff there. I might actually have it under recent things. Assignment 5. Which one was 5 again? Open it. Let's find out. Let's find out here. Editor version is pretty outdated because apparently if you update it, it gets like wonky and stuff. My prof was telling me. So let's see here. You hear the PMD music? Yes. This is a Glitch X City Time Gear remix. That's what this is. All right. Instance. What? 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 Yeah, what now? 5 is already open. What are you talking about? Okay, 4. 5 is already open. Right, I'm not opening that right now. Oh, this is opening right now. Something like that. Maybe before even programmers. Some of this stuff I think would be pretty cool to talk about. Just like different ways that you can have fun in a game and different ways that you can have challenge. So maybe talk a little, what might be engaging and kind of fun might just be like talking a little bit about some of these gaming industry analysis thingamabobs and, you know, the, you know, techniques behind them, and then start getting into what jobs are available and stuff. Did it open it? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's what assignment 4 was. That was the player modeling. What was 5 again? There's some sort of pathfinding. Let's find out. Might take a little while to open. Let's see how well my code works. And this assignment that I don't even remember what. Oh yeah, this was the procedurally generated one. I remember what it was. So, you worked on like the game AI itself, like for Pac-Man and stuff like that in the other assignments. But then this one was you needed to get procedurally generated levels is what you had to program. And that's why it takes like forever to open, because it's running through a lot of iterations to try and generate a level that's within the margins that I expect it to be. Might not be worth writing right now. Crap, I might just task manager kill Unity at some point. One simple game design thingamabob that I analyze, you know, Pokemon games with in my video essays is MDA framework. I can talk a little bit about that, something like that. And something that I noticed as I've been going through my old game design lectures is the profs often calling on the class for just like examples of games for like experiences they've had, or you know, games that might fit the bill there, something like that. That's something that I could always do there. Yeah, it doesn't even want to open that thingamabob now. Would this be a bit much, I wonder? If I did something along the lines of, say, because there would be some cool things to talk about, you know? If I did something like, it's been a good while since I've worked in slides here. Mechanics, dynamics, aesthetics. Gosh dang it, anyone that's seen my Pokemon essays knows about this kind of thingamabob already. Knows about this kind of analysis. I don't know if I do it proper justice in my Pokemon essays. I don't think I do, honestly. If I did something like that. Nope. Click off. Try to center the thingamabob. And maybe these should all be like white as well and underlined. There we go. Look at that. And then we can center this. Let's see. And then we remove the underline and go back to like the gray. Mechanics is rules. Dynamics is, let's see here. What happens? What the heck? Why? So what happens? Gosh dang you. And aesthetics is how it makes you feel. It's player experience, essentially. I can just put down play experience. Not experiences. Let's make it look a little bit more, more formal here. And then some, what would some good images for that kind of thing be? I wonder. Mechanics. Is there like a rule sheet or something I can find? How about like Monopoly rule sheet or something like that? Where it's like, yep, this is your rules. Monopoly rules, everyone gets wrong? What? The heck? I'm copying it anyway. Slapping it. It's Monopoly rules. Wow, that's mechanics, essentially. Let's see here. I'm so used to working in my image editing software now that like this is kind of weird to me. Okay, let's move stuff up. Okay, also I'm doing this because the space is a little bit jarring. Rules. These are mechanics. This is an example of mechanics. Then should I just use Monopoly as like a whole example? Because Monopoly could be a good thing. I have aesthetics, the play experience. I have some funny Monopoly memes in case I ever stream it with a friendos. So for like actual play experience, yeah. One example everyone will know, you need to do Fortnite. Yeah, that's obviously the way to go nowadays. Hold on. These, hold on. I have a few Monopoly memes here. Okay. And, whoops. Let's see here. Would this be good for play experience? How a standard game of Monopoly ends? Because that's a play experience, you know? That's, that's, what you get out of it and stuff. Bam. That would be an example of that. Essentially, I, should move this down a little bit. There we go. That'll be an example of aesthetics. And the dynamics of what happens would be like, I don't know. Well, be an example of like the Monopoly board, something or other. You know, this is probably an easy to understand thingamabob here. I don't know. Monopoly, both blue properties owned. I don't know. How would you, I don't know. Here's a picture of like the two cards, something like that. Here's a higher quality one there. For crediting where the images come from probably isn't important in something like this. What happens? I don't know. Something like that. This feels... Is this one not centered then? Which one isn't centered? What is wrong here? I don't know. That probably works as a good example there, right? So talking about like the ways that games are analyzed, here's like a example of like a university level stuff that's explained more simply. Like here's a lens that you can, I'd probably say something along the lines of, here's a lens by which you can analyze video games. One of the ones that we use is the MDA framework, which essentially stands for mechanics, dynamics, and aesthetics, which are, you know, big words, but what they really are is actually pretty simple. Mechanics is just your rules, what's allowed and how. You know, how that stuff goes. So Monopoly, there's the Monopoly rules, for example. Dynamics is what actually happens when you're playing. So while the mechanics are the same for everybody, the dynamics can be different for different players in different play sessions. So for example, one player might play and get all the green properties, but play another day and you might get all the dark blue properties or something like that. You know, what actually happens can vary. And then aesthetics is the play experience. It's how it makes you feel. It's the resultant feelings there. Do you have a fun time? Do you have a sense of accomplishment? Do you get really, really pissed off because somebody robbed you of all your money? You know, stuff like that. That's a way that you can analyze video games. And do I want to get a little bit more in detail with it? Because I can do it, but like you know, it has to be easily understandable as well. Oh, I guess this would kind of tie into jobs. If I, no, not that, I want to copy the slide itself. Let's see here. And if I get rid of these images here, and then move these down. No, did I just make another instance of them? I move these down. And then, can you insert, like, arrows? Shape arrows? Oh, you can. Can I do, like, a double side arrow? Ooh. Like this? Ooh. How do I haven't done this with slides before. What's a cool color? Green. Green's a cool color. That seems about right. let's see here. Because how this typically goes is, you don't think so? Monopoly? Is this what the world has come to? For Monopoly? But, you know, at least can understand how, you know, can get mad at a, game there. I can always make another instance of, like, a video game. You know, here, let's try this. What I can do, let's try another version, then can decide on a, version there. Let's see here. Let's see here. Mario Party, would you like to steal a star? Hold on. No, that's too much text. Where's just like, is there a small amount of text for stealing a star and a thingamabob? Everyone's gotta know Mario Party though, right? Surely? I mean, like, fortunately this is what happened to the world, yes. Come on. Mario Party has gotta be a good one. His deepest desire is that coins are start. No, that's probably not good. Man, this is good, but this is a bit much text. It's a bit much reading for it. As much as Mario Party would be like an amazing example. Oh man. Everyone has to have played Mario Party at some point. No. I don't know. It's cursed right there. I don't know. I can rethink it sometime later. I'll come up with some other ideas some other time, maybe. But let's see here. If I just, like... something like this. Nope. Take off the underline. Mario Kart could be known by everyone? What about Mario Kart Blue Shell, then? But, throwing Blue Shell. Is there a, good throwing Blue Shell thing? Oh, that's probably good, right? Hold on. Copy image. Dynamics, what happens? Luigi obviously threw the blue shell. And then is there, would be good aesthetics there. Rules would be like, Mario Kart 8, choosing cart. Oh, is there a thing that shows stats? Or something like that? Yeah, something like that. Where it's like, yep, those are rules. That's how it goes. You know? That's how it works. Right? That's your mechanics. What actually happens might be this. And then aesthetics is you rage quit. But what would be a good example of that? I mean, what Mario Kart memes do I have on my computer? Mario Kart. Let's see here. Is there anyone that's like getting mad? No? But like some sort of thing that is clearly showing rage quitting or something has like resultant aesthetics as an example. Think that might be better than Monopoly, maybe? They could always do something like that. In that case. And I can be like, wow, the, gosh darn you. This a little bit larger here. Like that. Chill Tunes. Who did this one again? This is a Mario Very Rare Aquatic Ambience Donkey Kong Country that's playing right now. Sweet. Throwing away the controller. Can I find, like, a good image of that? Something like that. Throwing gaming controller. I don't know. Is there a silly image for... No, not that. iStock. As funny as this would be to be, like, not remotely the right controller. I don't know. There's probably, like, some funny thingamabob that I could find out there. Wait. What about the, Jack Black throwing a peach thingamabob, but it's a controller instead? No, maybe not that. Anyway. This could be a good way to transition. Be like, this is a... When it comes to, designing games and stuff, The mechanics are the most developer side, because as a developer, you're deciding what the rules of your game should be. And aesthetics is the most player side, because they're the ones actually experiencing it. So sometimes in game design, you want to decide what your play experience should be, what you want your players to feel, and then create your dynamics and mechanics based off of that. Like, work backwards, essentially. And that's the way that you can solve a lot of problems and stuff, too. I don't know. That's like, what kind of things do we do from the developer side to make this happen? And then some stuff there, maybe. Or like, what kind of, I don't know. What are all the jobs involved? What are some examples of jobs involved that help, you know, make a positive play experience? Maybe even if it's not necessarily in the mechanics, you know. Maybe it's in other aspects, like artists that just make the world really beautiful or something like that. And then transition into jobs like programmers and then other things, maybe? Or some other lenses of analysis? I don't know. If I have the time, like, if I feel like I can fit into half an hour, I'd love to talk about, like, some other thingamabobs here, as long as I can, you know, break it down, you know, a reasonable enough way, is what I could do. And, you know, kind of be like, all right, but how does it all come together to make, like, the finished product of a video game, you know? And then here's, like, some jobs, here's, you know, the skills that you need to develop growing up to be able to get into these positions and stuff. You know, something like that. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Can I find, like, a, silly throwing gaming controller thingamabob? Hold on. Throwing controller beam? Oh, what are these? Probably not one of those. I don't know. Either one of these there. Either one of these. When I get into, I should send this to myself. That's what I should do. When I get into discussing what we actually discussed at university, there's this one really funny image that I should, add here. Transition into jobs, you could perhaps task them to program a video game and get a team together and ask them to take notes of all the jobs and people they need. That could be interesting there. I can ask the, teacher if she thinks that kind of little short group activity might be a good idea. Might be a cool thing. Can I sort by, maybe it's in favorites of photos? Something like that. I need to send a particular photo to myself. Unable to load photo. Are you kidding me? Well, it's a photo of a slide in one of the lectures of one of my game design classes, where it was, which game is more violent, Kirby or Battlefield? And we spent the whole class just like debating which of the games was more violent between Kirby or Battlefield, and it was really funny. So that was certainly something quite silly there. Was the case. Do I want to talk about like some of these other ways that you can analyze it? Like different ways of fun and different types of challenge and stuff like that. You know, would there be time for that? I can always discuss with the teacher about like how long this should roughly be and stuff. But yeah, as a developer, you want to be making cool stuff there that'll result in a positive play experience. What happened to my music? Oh, it's just a slow intro here. But yeah. You're talking about the American Kirby box art? No? Is it different in some way? Is it different in some way here? Well, I guess I can make, like, slides for various thingamabobs. Or maybe I'll figure out, like, a format first and foremost. So, like, the main kind of jobs that would be worth talking about there. He's angry in America? Oh, yeah, I think I remember seeing that in, like, a freaking Sakurai video there. So things like playtester, some of the things that were discussed in some of my lectures are also just like good lessons for just like project management and stuff. Like notes that I've been taking here as I've been reviewing my lectures. Like one of the things that was discussed in one of my lectures was just like to build a game is to play a game, essentially. Like you should be actively playing it throughout making it to make sure that you're satisfied with what's being made. And the best way to learn is by doing and just trying over and over and over again. And there was this TED Talk that my one of my professors brought up that was on the Marshmallow Challenge, which is a thing where you have like 4 marshmallows and like 5 or 6 toothpicks or something like that, and you have to make like the tallest tower you could. And apparently some of the people that struggled the most at that challenge were recent graduates of business school, because they would lay out everything and try to plan out in their heads how exactly, you know, does this work? How do we make this optimal? And try to plan out the most optimal thing. And apparently people who did really well in that were recent graduates of preschool, because preschoolers, they don't think about it, they just do, and then, you know, they'll fail a bunch, but they'll just keep trying until they get something that works, and then, you know, eventually get, you know, a product that seems to work pretty all right. And it kind of really goes to show sometimes that just keep on trying it, you know, and learn by experience and stuff. Like, good planning can be important in, you know, a really big project, but sometimes it's also really important just to try it, just do it over and over again. So if I do a thing on, you know, playtesters, I'd probably end up doing a thingamabob like that. But I am going to want this to be mostly image and graphic based, and then, you know, just try to talk in an interesting, engaging way. I don't want to write, like, here's a whole bunch of text, information overload and stuff, you know. It's definitely not a thing that I want to do. Hold on. Do I want to include that kind of stuff there? It's things like conflict, progress, yada yada. None of these are really ways of analyzing games, though. This is in a different way, but that's, you know, complicated high-level stuff. That would just be, you know, bonus topic at the end if anyone's interested. I don't know. This is also really hard when I'm sleep-deprived and stuff. But let's see here. Oh, could be an interesting thing to include as well. It's just like some of my own experience as well. I think when I was looking at yeah, I still have a couple thingamabobs from the game that I made in university thus far. I'd be like, hey, this is my experience. Programmers, that was the thing that I was on this game right here. It's called Morgan. These were the initial concept arts for our playable character, like before we even started production, when we just had a general idea of what it was gonna be like. And then this was like the first sprite draft here, and the I wasn't the one that made the sprite, it was one of the artists on the team, but this was a thingamabob from a thing that I helped make there. I probably still have some hello guy. that was our little playable character. Do I still have the old documents for this class though? Let's see a folder for it in my university thing. Wouldn't be in that folder. I'm sure it's on my computer somewhere. Backups, old PC, no. No, probably not there. I'm sure I'll find it around somewhere. Old items? Not in there. What is all the stuff in this folder? I really need to sort things out when I, eventually do stuff with my new drive. So yeah, I can have a slide that's like, hey, here's stuff that I've done, but I'll put in like some more thingamabobs. I might still have the game files on my computer. I might still do. It's like RPG Maker stuff. Super simple thing there. So programmers, that was a thing that I did. And I was one of 2 programmers on the team, and we had our work cut out for us. It was a little bit of pain. Let's see here. Obviously, it's programming the things. That's what they do. They're programming the things, you know? What kind of things might they program? You know, I guess I want to say AI first, but you know, it's probably not the best thing to lead with. I just have AI on the mind because it was one of my classes of this recent semester. Oh, speaking of, did my thing open? Oh, it did! Look at this procedurally generated Pac-Man level. Man, it sucks. But, you know, they're not meant to be good. They're just meant to be generated. Alright, let's close Unity here. Yeah, walk in. Yeah, you could do animation and stuff like that there. But yeah, hello, Rico Man, and good afternoon, Harmonia. What project is this? We are currently wrapping up a 24-hour charity stream going 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. I have to be live for 7 more minutes, and then I can go pass out and stuff. I am preparing a presentation to give to a 6th grade class on the gaming industry. Namely on, like, the jobs that you can get in it, essentially, and what skills you have to develop. I'm supposed to focus on the importance of, you know, emphasizing the importance of graduating high school and, you know, getting good education and trying to do well in classes and stuff. So I'm gonna try to focus this presentation on the various jobs and in the gaming industry and what kind of skills you use to do it. Screw, I'm saying I can put a different one up there sometime later. What other thingamabobs here? I do programming stuff. I should know this. This is, I'm not including what this is. This is player modeling. That could be a bonus topic if anyone's interested there. This is when you want to have a good idea of like what types of players you have, and you want to map out like certain aspects like hours played compared to level, and see you know, see what kind of correlation you get, and you get like these clumps of different player types based on user data, you know, as you invade players' privacy and stuff, and use that to come to conclusions about what kind of things you should do. I'm not including that. That's a little bit high level there. It's probably the case. But yeah. I guess there's animations, or maybe I should say in-game animations. It might not matter at a level like this anyway, but in-game animations is what can be done. Just like make sure they work. How about physics? Think about things like Tears of the Kingdom. Physics are probably good. I don't know, probably a whole bunch of other things that I do. Should I also include like a little section about like here's the skills that you should use for it? Like science is probably a good one. No, computing science and you know, math. Math is definitely an important one. You know, these things I could probably just, you know, say off the top of my head. Stuff though. You know. I could say levels. Stuff like that. Be like, hey, this is the game that I designed. I might have some old photos around of like some puzzles that I designed for it. On like paper that I designed. I know there's some photos around somewhere. I just need to dig them up and find them. You know, be the case. But yeah, hold on. As much as I'd love to go through things like this, it has to focus more on like jobs and stuff. That's what it's gotta do. The more stuff like this. When it comes to sound designer, there's actually some pretty interesting things when it comes to that. In one of my game design classes, we once had somebody who I believe was a guest speaker from BioWare come in, who was a sound designer. And sound designers are honestly like one of the most underappreciated job roles within the gaming industry, in my opinion. Because each of the sound effects that you hear while playing a game, that needs to have been created in some way. That needs to either be a real sound that exists out in the world, or something that someone could design in like some computer software. And this one sound designer was telling us that he would always have like his sound design equipment and a microphone in his backpack wherever he went. And if ever he heard like an interesting sound out in the world, he could then pull out his microphone and record it, and then like, you know, potentially use it in a video game one day. I thought that was kind of cool. You know, I thought that was a kind of neat thing there, at least. So like, sounds need to exist some way. You know, the sound has got to come from somewhere. How do I put it into words simply though? Like, so it's really simple on a slide. So it's like, the sound has to come from somewhere. Yeah, Soundsmith, a TF2 YouTuber, has done some sound design streams. It's wild stuff. Yeah, sound designers are honestly like I said, one of the most underappreciated job roles within the gaming industry, in my opinion. I don't know, I'll figure out something for that there and probably tell some interesting stories for that kind of thing. You know, there's some interesting things that I can get into with some things like that, like figure out ways that your story makes arguments and ties stuff together and all that stuff there. I can show like concept art for thingamabobs. One of the games that's being developed around here, Nightingale, I wonder if it has its concept art released by now. One of the games that's being developed here, we got to see it a little bit early with you know, one of my we had a class trip for one of my game design classes to their studio, and you know, got to see some of the stuff that they were working on, and got to see some of the concept art and things. And it was pretty cool. Nightingale is now officially revealed, like, you know, so I don't have to worry about, you know, saying that breaking NDA or anything like that, but I don't know if the concept art is out there, because that might be a relevant example, because it's being developed around here. Nightingale Vancouver, no, game, or maybe I should just type in the name of the, studio, concept art. Have they released it? Because there was actually some pretty cool concept art. Yeah, things like this, you know? There was, we saw stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Yeah, sound needs to be created. Yeah. Sound needs to be created. somehow. I don't know. It can't just magically pop into existence. Or I guess you can always find like some assets online that other people have created, but you know, that has to have been created in some way as well. It's kind of the case. There's also, so I was creating it. There's also sound variants. So in a video game, if you have a sound effect for footprints, for example, or not footprints, steps, as your character is stepping along and, you know, going from point A to point B, it can be really easy just to make like a single footstep sound effect and then use that for every single time your character steps. You don't want to do that because then your player is going to get like really tired of hearing the exact same step sound effect over and over again. So things that you can do is just like change the pitch by a certain amount each time, or have every time the character steps be like this sound effect, but pitched up or down within like a certain range, just so there's some variance. So it's not like every single step is the same. There's, you know, a little bit of difference, and that helps, you know, set things apart and stuff. So that's another thing to keep in mind there, is making sure that your players don't get tired of your sound effects and stuff like that. If you decide not play this stream anymore, well, we might wrap it up in a hot second here anyway, because it's 6 a.m. I was about to do a SpongeBob reference, but I think that's actually 3 a.m. of who eats a Krabby Patty at 3 a.m. Oh boy, 3 a.m. Was it 6 a.m.? I don't know. Something like that. But that can be a general framework kind of thing, Bob. Man, I can't focus on this too much right now anyway, but hey, let's just start on something. Yeah, maybe I should do Mario Kart. It might be a bit more recognizable. Come on, it's freaking Monopoly. You know? Yeah, I can like throw a controller for play experience. I think it was 3. You have little to no SpongeBob knowledge. Yeah, I think it was probably 3 a.m. as well. Oh boy, 3 a.m. You know, stuff like that. We can talk about all that stuff there. I'm really tired. I should go to bed here. Yogi might already be asleep. Yeah. It's like, I'll try not to disturb her. But yeah, so I've been awake since, you know, 5 yesterday morning. I'm pretty tired. That's kind of the case here. My Oma the other day, well, another day was yesterday. Day before yesterday, invited me over for dinner, and I was like, oh, I can't because I have a 24-hour cherry stream going on the following day. And she was like, oh, how about the next day? And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds great. So sometime later today, I'll be going and doing that. So I'm just gonna sleep like through most of the day now, and go enjoy dinner over there. Or 8th graders asked you on a Friday what a decade is. Things have changed. My oh my, times have changed. My oh my. Taking it easy there. So think that Monopoly might be a little bit of a far stretch for presentation there. Mario Kart may be more recognizable. I mean, Mario Kart could be fun as well. I'll just find like some good image of like someone throwing a controller in their play experience or something like that. Is what I should do. Alright, I think this theme is almost over. I think is the case. Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X theme. I love this theme. I love Xenoblade Chronicles X music. I'm tired. I'll work on this a whole bunch on my own time and stuff, you know, as I was planning on doing already. I do greatly appreciate everyone that tuned in to this 24-hour cherry stream. I guess I'll give a little bit of an outro. Let's play back halfway through the theme so we have some music and stuff, because it's a good theme. Thank you everyone so much who tuned in to this 24-hour cherry stream. My goodness, I am so dang tired. I have done some long sessions of games before. I think the longest I ever did around here was like 13 hours. Maybe it was 13 or 14 of Dark Souls 3. I think that was during the 24-hour cherry stream 5, I think. So it's like, I know I can play one game for a super long time, but my goodness, it can get draining when you go that long. So I was a little bit worried about doing mainly 2 games this time, and I guess it was just 2 games pretty much at the end of the day here, of, you know, Tears of the Kingdom and Metal Gear Solid. I said the thing! Ah, you can see my shadow doing the, okay, the thingamabob there. But it turned out pretty alrighty. I feel like Tears of the Kingdom had enough to, you know, keep me entertained throughout there. And then, Metal Gear there. It was interesting. I was quite intrigued and, you know, had a good time. There's definitely a decent bit of stress to be had towards the end. But, you know, I still enjoyed it. It was a bit of an adventure there. And we made it to the end of 8 24-hour cherry streams now. 2 more of these and we'll be in double digits. My goodness, not surprised you're tired. Congrats on the 24-hour stream. Glad you could catch this as your regular streams are early morning for you. Get some rest. I hope your future streams continue to be successful. I appreciate that there, Positronics. And Moon Cherry, indeed, we surpassed the goal there. I'll need to organize a thingamabob in the near future, that community multiplayer game night that can be voted on. And I need to figure out a day to do Ring Fit Adventure in the near future, because I was gonna do it today, but, you know, again, I didn't want to kick out the doggy while she wanted to hang out with me here. Was kind of the case. I wasn't gonna bring her upstairs and strand her there to be alone while she wanted to hang out here just so I could play my exercise game. So I'll do that sometime in the near future, assuming I don't get sidetracked with other things, which hopefully I don't, but I'm gonna try my best to do it there. But yeah, thank you very much for the stream. Sleep well. Will do. Thanks all once again who tuned into this stream, and thanks everyone who also support and donate for the cause here. It does really mean a lot there. I am going to leave donations open until the end of the month, one, so that I have like the time to do Ring Fit Adventure and still count it as like part of the fundraiser thingamabob, I guess. And like 2, gives me some time to like total up all the bits and subs and stuff like that, and you know, add my own contribution and get things figured out. You know, is my plan here. But now I'm just kind of rambling at this point, figuring out stuff to say. Man, I'm going to conk out real well. Is the case. So once again, thank you all so much, and until next time, take care and see you. Goodbye.